And we are back, G-Mac and Winnie coming at you. Another edition of the Outlaw Blitz podcast. Big fella, let's get dangerous.
Yeah, it was confusing hearing both songs at the same time.
Yeah, but it wasn't through the mics.
No,
it was just that this is turned up, I think.
Maybe.
I don't have it as low as I normally do.
Maybe Wax and Eminem could collaborate. That'd be awesome.
That'd be pretty cool.
That would be cool.
It didn't sound too off.
No, it was all right. What's going on?
Not much, and I want to jump right into my It Smells Fresh take, Freshies Fresh take.
Okay.
In the stench that is the world today.
Okay.
With all the complaining and carrying on and crying and all the nonsense as Highland's yawning. We're literally a minute into the show.
Had to wait. It's like a trigger. I don't know.
That's great. Our show is so boring you yawn.
No, it's not nice. Like that.
Cool.
It's just a
nervous
thing.
Nervous. The Tom Brady roast was the fresh take.
Oh, it was great.
It was everything it should have been before everybody was a bunch of pussies.
Yeah, it was good. It didn't even seem like 3 hours.
It was the freshie to take the stench off of everything.
Did Central not Comedy Central, Netflix already went back and edited the booze out
for Kim Kardashian, and I think they took out Tom Brady walking up to Jeff Ross and saying, "Don't say that shit again."
Really?
Yeah.
Why? What did he get pissed about?
He said something about Tom Brady was told Robert Kraft he's the best decision he's ever made. Who needs a massage?
Oh shit! Was he joking though?
Of course he was, but Brady had a couple don'ts. Don't his kids and don't Robert Kraft.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, because apparently you have not watched it.
I watched the whole thing, but I don't.
Well, we watched it the same night. You walked right up to him and said, "Don't say that shit again."
Huh.
But regardless, I don't give a fuck about that. That's neither here nor there. The fresh take is, if you haven't seen it, you should watch it, and if you're offended, you should go fuck yourself.
Yeah, pretty much.
They took shots at everybody.
Oh, nobody was off. Right. Nobody was off.
And then Giselle's coming out where she's all bent that she was looked at in a bad way. Yo, you fucked off and fucked around with a jiu-jitsu instructor.
Yeah.
And then you think that his friends... Yo, he was getting smashed for it, too.
Oh, he got destroyed for it.
But she took her lumps in it.
About... who had the comment about... Who had the line about her getting her ass eaten as he was getting his
Nikki
kicked?
Glazer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So...
You put the jizz in Giselle. Yeah, I mean, it was a phenomenal rebound of society, in my opinion.
Yo, fucking Belichick stole the show.
He did. And
everybody thinks he's such a stone-faced, serious guy all the time, and he went up and absolutely killed it.
They don't realize he's A, funny, and B, he's got a lot of personality. When you're a football coach, you can't give the media anything because they then take everything.
Right.
But yeah, no, if you have not seen it, go on Netflix, watch the roast of Tom Brady.
Gronk was borderline obnoxious.
Yeah, awesome.
So because he was so hammered.
Yeah, I mean,
Julian Edelman could do this professionally. He was good.
Yeah, there's some good ones. I mean, I don't want to give it away too much, but my fresh take is you need to see it if you haven't seen it. By the time this comes out, it'll be like 2 weeks after it.
Right.
And it was what America kind of needed right now, in my opinion. Like, everybody's so goddamn sensitive all the time. So for people to go out there, for Tom Brady, who, has this clean image, to go up there and just take that abuse, but then get his comeuppance at the end. He came back and smoked everybody.
He did.
And it was the hot item there for like the last week or so.
I love Kevin Hart.
Don't like that guy at all.
Really?
Don't like that guy at all.
Come on, really?
Yeah, if
Wow.
if you put him on overrated, underrated, I will give you my.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I
Damn.
don't even think that guy's funny.
Okay.
Yep.
I loved. He threw me off there. I forgot what I was going to say.
You know, you said Kevin Hart is a host.
Oh, he had the comment about Drew Bledsoe's face looking like the face that's on every picture frame, in every store across America.
Yeah. Yeah, no. If you get a chance to go out there and get it, you go out there, see it, watch it, see what your take is. My take is my fresh take. It smells freshy's fresh take is. It was what America needed to get the stench off of this fucking subculture of crybabies.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it being going live with it and letting it just be unfiltered was perfect.
Well, and it didn't feel live or clunky. Like sometimes live feels clunky. Like right now, we feel really clunky today, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes live feels.
It moved.
It moved. It moved at a rate that it didn't feel like the length that it was, and there was no real hiccups and hubbubs and hangups and everything.
Who's the dude with the funny haircut? Tony Hinchcliffe.
He killed it.
He did. He was hysterical. I had never seen him before.
Yeah,
and he was fucking phenomenal.
His was a moving monologue,
which is even better.
Reality being, I think the two worst were hands down Ben Affleck. Randy Moss wasn't good, but I'll give him a pass because he's an athlete.
He is.
And the other one was Ron Burgundy sucked.
Ron Burgundy was Ron Burgundy. And
just stupid and way too long.
It was good in Ron Burgundy times 10 years ago. But yes, I think the shtick has kind of gotten old. There's only so many Ron Burgundy lines and jokes that you can do. And yeah, I get it. You're not wrong.
And just dragged on.
It did.
Dragged on. But needless to say, check it out. It's a fresh take on society right now where, I mean, the gay jokes are flowing again.
Oh.
Dana White called him a bunch of, he goes, my name is Dana. Is that not trans enough for you liberal fucks? Like, I mean, all that stuff was hilarious.
It was.
And it was what needed to be.
Yep.
All right. Well, and that will lead us into this week's top 5. This week's top 5. The top 5 comedy roasters of all time.
Okay.
I have one honorable mention. If you want, we can leave him till the end just in case he's on your list. I don't believe he's on your list.
He's probably not.
My honorable mention is Norm Macdonald.
Okay. I love Norm Macdonald.
He would say shit, but he'd say it in such a hey, I'm going to go over there, like real mellow and kind of, but he would zing people.
Wow, I feel really fucking bad right now because I focused on modern day roasting, which means I left a legend off.
That's all right.
So I'll make him my honorable mention.
No, do not. I know where you're going. Do not go at the end.
Okay, all right.
I'll go with number 5 because I don't know this guy to be super famous, but going back, he's fucking brutal, and he's in other people's list. He's like a top 3 all time. Greg Giraldo.
Yeah, he's dead. He was.
Is he on your list?
No, I left him off just because
he got popular doing the Larry the Cable Guy, Hasselhoff, and Flavor Flav roasts.
Yeah,
and
he was brutal.
And you kind of have a I don't give a fuck mentality, and that's when you succeed in these things.
Absolutely, you have to.
And if you go by, there's whole mashups of just go on YouTube, type in Greg Giraldo,
right,
and there's whole mashups of him just slaying any roast that he did.
Yeah, he was great. He really was. It was a short window. It was like a 5-year window, and then he passed. But same thing with Patrice O'Neal.
Yeah.
Who I left off because I think just the window was so small. He was a genius too, but Greg Giraldo, hands down, was awesome.
Yeah.
My number 5, I love him as a comedian overall, Jameel Carr. Him destroying Ann Coulter was my favorite part of the Bieber roast. And he actually went around the whole stage that night, and it was great.
Lit everybody up. He's got that very dry English humor.
Yes, very deadpan. And he's got the face you want to punch too.
He does,
which makes it even better.
He always looks kind of smug, like.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, my number 4 is going to be much higher on your list. Nikki Glaser.
She is.
Okay. We'll talk about it then.
All right, my number 4, Anthony Jeselnik. They always bang on him for being probably one of the more unknown guys on the dais.
Yep.
But he's good. He had a line about in the Charlie Sheen roast. You got something to the effect of, you got the role on network TV because God hates Michael J. Fox.
Oh.
Yeah, that sparked it for me.
Yeah,
and
of course, anything with Michael J. Fox sparks it for you.
Yeah, and he's real deadpan too. So his delivery is very not nonchalant, very just matter of fact.
He was at the Brady Roast, but not a roaster.
Not a roaster.
I saw him in the crowd.
Yep.
All right, my number 3, Gilbert Gottfried.
An acquired taste. You either love Gilbert Gottfried or you can't stand
But here's the
Gilbert
thing about
Gottfried.
him. That was all shtick. That wasn't his real voice.
Right.
That whole deal. But he was fearless, and he was brutal, and he was a genius. And he was also so good at it, he was a 7-time roaster.
That's awesome.
That's a lot.
Good.
That's a lot. To be invited 7 times to Comedy Central roast or whatever roast in general.
Yeah.
He was, but he would say shit that, like, Gilbert Gottfried, when we were kids, was in like Beverly Hills Cop, a couple different movies,
right.
The Affleck Duck, you know what I mean? But he would come out and say some really fucking ruthless shit to people, and you would just be like, "Oh."
I put him in the. I mean, I don't think Bobcat ever did roast, or maybe he did,
maybe once, but
again, the same. It was a character, really.
It was.
They don't speak that way. They don't look that way, but it was just what made them for that time period. So, yeah, he's a gem. He really is. My number 3.
Yep.
Natasha Leggero.
Okay.
She gets banged on as hard as she gives it out, which makes her that good. They're more ruthless to her than they are to Nikki Glaser because she just looks like a fucking slut. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, and the thing that helps Nikki Glaser is she's beautiful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Bieber actually had a good line against Natasha Leggero. Said something to the effect of, yes, I'm a little disappointed because you didn't shoot any ping pong balls out like Stoop told me you would. So, whoever wrote Bieber's shit.
But listen, if you go back and you watch the roast of Bieber, when he gets up there, he slays.
He does.
Slays.
Martha Stewart did too.
Yeah. No, Tom Brady did too.
Tom Brady was money.
Number 2, Jeff Ross.
Also my number 2.
The roast of Drew Carey was his start. He was 33 years old, fresh-faced. His fresh face is that ugly fucking
with
kid.
hair.
With hair. He's a homely looking dude.
He is.
But great at he's the modern day roast master, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't think you can call it a roast if Jeff Ross is not there. It fits his style of comedy perfectly. And he's legendary. I mean, he came out in
a bloody O.J. Simpson jersey.
But it didn't say OJ. It said something different, J. Simpson.
Toast J. Simpson.
Toast J. Simpson with fucking leather gloves on, 32, and the devil and flames brought him up.
Not giving a fuck.
Not giving a fuck.
So he is absolutely ruthless, and he's always got good costumes. He came out as Prince. He came out dressed like a friggin' royal soldier.
Yep.
He's always for the event. He's ready.
And you got to think he gets banged on every one of those because he's the roast master. Yeah. So you got to have really good thick skin to handle that type of shit.
Oh hell yeah! And who's your
number 1 is Don Rickles.
I knew it would be
the original king of roasts.
Yeah.
Before roasting was a thing, he would roast an entire fucking crowd. And he didn't need prep time. He'd go in and be
off the cuff, man.
Yeah. But if you can go and you can roast Sinatra, and he's and he would tell him, the mafia guys, he'd be like, Bamboo Bingats is over here, and he would he'd kill him. He'd kill him. And who can do that to Frank Sinatra?
Don Rickles, that's it.
Don Rickles, and that's it.
Like I said, I felt bad that I didn't go back to the old
and
roast,
I knew that's who you were going to put
on. He would be my honorable for it. My number 1 modern day roaster, Nikki Glaser.
Why I had her so low is just because I just kind of did it as an all time thing.
Yeah,
she's climbing the ladder.
She is.
She's climbing the ladder. She's getting a lot better. And what I had written down here for her was she's the princess of roasting.
I was going to say if Jeff Ross is the king, she's the queen.
Well, I don't know about queen, but she's the princess.
She's getting there.
She's going to be there.
Awesome.
She's next in line. When the king dies, the princess takes over.
I never cared much for Lampanelli.
No, I don't think she's funny.
I don't either.
I think she says some rude shit that if a man said it, wouldn't be funny.
She's the female equivalent of Dice.
Except
it's not funny anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Dice, was funny 30 years ago. But
right.
Like I said, she says rude shit.
Right. She's a shock value comedian.
Yeah, and it's kind of like once you get through the original time of her going, holy shit, like a woman just said that.
Yeah.
You're like, eh. So I never really...
She's 90% jokes about taking black dick.
Yeah.
And that's really it.
Yeah.
I mean, she's kind of a
one-trick pony. Yeah. But what I had down for Nikki Glaser was impeccable timing and rhythm, and she was perfect. If you could have given out of 10, she was 10.
Yeah, she was spot on, and she's gorgeous.
And time frame, she hit all her marks. It didn't feel long. It didn't feel short. Yeah. And everyone hit. Every single joke hit.
Amy Schumer was really good when she did them.
Yeah.
But she moved on from roasts, and she hasn't done any.
Right, and she's been in more acting and TV.
Right, and that's where I think Nikki Glaser hopped in and took off and really elevated it for the females. She is that good.
Yeah, and, she can rub elbows with the guys on the stage and smash them.
Yeah. Some of the funnier athletes that have done it over time, Shaq is usually pretty good.
Shaq's good.
Mike Tyson was hysterical the few he was on there for. And listen, for Mike being Mike, he was good at taking jokes. He laughed his ass off at everything they said about him.
Yep.
I think it was either Natasha Leggero or I don't think it was Nikki Glaser. I think it was Natasha Leggero made a joke about his tattoo and said, "You're the only guy that could get a tramp stamp on his face. The guys don't know whether to punch you in it or come on it."
Yeah.
So, and he was dying in his seat.
Well, probably loaded up on cocaine at the time.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because I was like Fat Mike Tyson.
It was. That's when he was doing his one-man show.
Yeah. So. You mentioned this earlier. Julian Edelman could do this.
He could.
Listen, and
everybody, he's a good-looking dude. He's well-spoken, and he's just naturally
and
funny.
Not for nothing. Everybody hit on that. They all called him a fuck boy.
They did.
That's what he is, right?
Yep.
And Gronk is just a dumb jock. That's what Gronk got. You're a dumb jock.
Even I know it not real money.
Yeah, and that was Nikki Glaser's probably best joke.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome thing. Obviously, our fresh take led into our top 5 roasting.
Listen, Kevin Hart did get Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft to do a shot together.
Yeah, but Belichick didn't shake his head.
They look super uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But no, you have to watch it. It was one of the best. It's definitely my top 3 of all time.
Yeah.
If not number 2.
It's probably the hardest I've laughed in like 5 years.
Yeah.
In this time frame of
shit.
People complaining and fucking wine bagging and pronouns and all this other bullshit, They took the gloves off of everything.
Oh, they gave who was it? They gave Jeff Ross the pronoun of it and something else.
That.
It
was Nikki Glaser.
Dying. Oh my God.
Glaser.
So good.
She was good. So
so good.
Wrapping this all up in a bow, this was our top 5 roasters of all week off of our It's Fresh. It smells freshies, fresh.
And this was an immediate.
You need to see the Tom Brady roast.
Yeah, this was an immediate. Oh, this is on the show this week.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we'll have 2 shows prior because of how our schedule is. But no, they were pretty awesome.
Absolutely.
All right, let's move on to. All right, this week's video brought to you by Moranti Plumbing and Oil, 901-4194.
And it smells good.
Yeah, this is the part of the show every week where Winnie talks about how good he smells and cleans his pipes. Josh is very good, very reliable. If you screenshot this with his logo, which is up in the top right-hand corner of our screen right now, you can find us on YouTube or Facebook or Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
And you send that to him. When he comes, he will give you a discount
on a service charge.
All right, 5 crazy questions via GMAC. Number 1: would you ever let your friends, family, and coworkers roast you?
Yeah, absolutely.
You would?
Yeah, why not?
I think that'd be a pretty cool way to retire.
I've heard every fat joke known to man.
I know. I'm saying, don't you think that'd be a cool retirement?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, that'd be your party, would be the roast.
Yeah.
And then when you're done, you're done. You retire. You fucking go right off into the sunset.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I was curious. I'd be like, I wonder if Winnie would be into that.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, number 2.
The amount of shit I've dished out over the years to people,
you got to eat.
I have to eat it. Yeah.
Number 2. How many deviled eggs could you down in one sitting?
Oh my god, I love deviled eggs.
That's why it's the perfect question,
dude. I love deviled eggs.
Well, usually they take a dozen, cut them in half, you get 24.
24. I don't know that I could pound 24.
I don't know. I bet you I could probably get, because they usually have like an egg-shaped thing where they put them in.
Right.
I don't know. I think I could get through
8 to 12, I think.
I think I could get through half a tray.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. About half. Yeah, 8 to 12 deviled eggs.
Easy.
Mean pooper later on.
Easy. I think 8.
That might be the most underrated food of all time.
It could be.
They are so good when they're right.
That might be a challenge.
Could
that be a challenge?
I think it could be a challenge.
I think that's a challenge.
Who made the best deviled eggs?
That you've had? My mom always made really good deviled eggs.
My grandma did too.
Yeah. All right, number 3. If you could own any non-major sport team, what would it be? So you can't have like baseball, basketball, football, or a NASCAR team, or hockey.
Okay.
Like no major team, like another sport, what would you
own? Probably they do. There's a team league now for bowling that they have like 5 guys on a team. Probably a bowling team.
You'd own it and like promote the guys on your team.
Yeah, because they have team names, they have logos, they have everything. Yeah. It's cool the way they do it. It's 5 guys over 10 frames, so everybody ends up bowling 2 frames. And it's fun to watch. So, yeah. I would
so the pressure is really kind of off you in a way. You just got to bowl 2 good frames.
Unless you're the guy in a tent and you need you got to go out for it.
Well, then that's 4 good frames.
That's your anchor guy there. So, but yeah, no, a pro bowling team would be cool.
No, that's pretty cool. I was wondering what you would say. Yeah, I'd probably go like pickleball or something. I get like 2 hot chicks.
Is there a pro pickleball now?
There is. Yeah, I think so.
It's on the Ocho.
Yeah, probably. It's probably on the fucking whatever, the Diaz. All right, number 4. Do you think you could par 5 PGA holes if you were given 10 mulligans across 18 holes?
5 PGA holes?
Yeah.
Oh, Christ.
You're given 10 mulligans.
Man, I don't know.
I mean, parring like 1 is tough at our
right. Like Bethpage, there's no fucking way. It's just too long of a course. It would have to be like the ideal course that would fit what I could do fairly well, which is not a lot on the golf course. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I think that
if I did, it's pure luck, even with 10 mulligans.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, where the key would be when to use them.
Right, and the biggest
because say you miss a 4-foot putt,
right?
You use the mulligan, you don't know that you're going to make that.
Correct.
For par,
there's no automatics in our game.
Right.
Yeah, no, definitely not. And listen, the courses we play on, a lot of the greens are, take this room times 4.
Right.
And that's the size of the green. Fucking some of the pro courses is take this room times 20.
Yeah.
Uphill.
And
ledge,
like you're rolling it on this table.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It's not stopping. They're super fast.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah. No, they're super tough. That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
I think people underestimate how hard golf is.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I mean, give me 10 mulligans. Easy. I could easily do it. I don't believe that.
I don't know, man. It'd be a lot of luck involved if it happened. Damn.
I agree.
Based on skill level, no fucking way.
Yeah. All right. And number 5. Any historical figure except Elvis.
Okay.
Who would you like to celebrate your birthday with?
Huh. Sinatra would be a blast. It would be a good time. Would you want somebody funny or somebody that you can converse with? It doesn't have to be dead, right?
Well, I would say historical most likely be dead.
Deceased at this point. Okay. Man, did you anybody like pre 1800 or pre 1900 would just be awkward. There wouldn't be a lot of
I don't know, man.
about.
I don't know. I think there's some historical figures you got to be like, holy fuck, yeah, why not?
All right, I'll pick an oddball out only because
Well, Sinatra's dead.
He is, but I think I don't drink.
You don't want to mess with Freddie Mercury.
Fuck that. I'm gonna go with FDR.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a local guy.
Yep.
I portrayed him in a 6th grade book report. I actually dressed up like him and everything, and I did a lot of to do that report. I did a lot of investigative stuff, and he was a president during World War II, one of the most tumultuous times in the world.
Yeah,
and was a steadying force. So yeah, I'll take FDR.
That's cool. I would go Ben Franklin.
Okay.
He's on money.
Right.
And America sent him everywhere because he had a huge cock and banged all kinds of chicks.
Let's see the hammer, Ben.
Yeah. But
he broke the Liberty Bell.
Right. Yeah. Order in the court.
That's where the sound came from.
Yeah. But if you think about it, like, why are they sending this guy? Why is he on money? And why is he?
Because he's got a hammer.
100%. And he has to be a good time.
Right.
You know what I mean? He had to be a good time. So.
Then Big Ben.
Big Ben. Yeah. All right. Let's move along. Over and Under, brought to you by the Law Office of Brian Duran, 339-4313. If you're going through a hard time and you need a lawyer for bankruptcy, go see Brian, mention the Outlaw Blitz, and you get $100 off. Number 1, Cantine Field Complex.
Super underrated.
I'm going to go overrated.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm going to say it's dated now.
Listen,
when we're going to other
Rocky Top, there's no.
I'm not. I've been to other fields this season and other places, and we're not comparative.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, our infields are always nice. Don't get me wrong. We have a full-time crew that does that.
Yeah.
But as far as dugouts are beat up. They're not repainted. The roofs look like shit. The signs in the outfield, the green stuff that goes on the things, all dilapidated and flapping in the breeze. Just in general, the scoreboards are falling down around most. Some of the fields are nice, some of them aren't.
Right.
But when you take them overall, kind of like how Dietz Stadium was the crown jewel of New York State in the 80s when it first got the first ever turf.
Right.
And then it was hosting state semifinal games and all this kind of craziness. They had to basically knock it down and start new because technology passed them by where they just stopped, reinvesting in it.
Fowler Field became...
Right, and Goshen's got a better field. FDR's got a better field. Taconic's got a better field.
Taconic kills. Nice.
But I'm saying, it's like time stood still. Like, this is we've always just done it this way. It's good.
True.
I've been to Red Hook, who's got an all-turf field.
Really?
Turf dirt, looks like dirt.
Right.
Turf, yeah. So...
Didn't know that.
Where's the upgraded stuff? Where's the newer? Outside of Cantine, right. And a lot of that was brought in by Stallions money, where they put the seats behind home plate. You know what I mean? The bigger bleachers. But why are we not hosting bigger events? Why do we not have aluminum bleachers that come out around the dugouts?
Could.
Halfway down. Make it like a Renegades field or whatever.
Right.
My son just played at Renegade Stadium against Our Lady of Lourdes. Marlboro's field is phenomenal. Walk Hill just put up a brand new field. So you see these other fields and you're like, what's going on here? Sauer Field for 40 years has been a swamp in left field. You haven't fixed it in 40 years. You haven't leveled it up. So when you really think about it, what have you done?
Okay.
So that's why I would say overrated.
I haven't been around like that to see a lot of the newer fields. And when I do go around, it's usually for football.
All right, but you were at Boston's game 2 weeks ago.
Right.
Was there 9 million pine cones and non-cut grass?
There was.
And do we not have full-time paid people that handle that stuff?
We do.
So, how about where they used to do the bands, the Battle of the Bands on that stage? Is that thing falling apart?
Probably. I haven't looked at it, but I'm going to go and say sure.
Right. And the bathrooms, have they been redone?
No, they haven't.
90 years?
No, probably not.
Right. So, that's what I'm saying. Like, where's it better?
All right.
Where's it upgraded? Don't get me wrong. It's awesome that we have that many fields.
Right.
But it's not like when we used to be young. If you go up and watch your son play softball, there's empty fields every night now.
Yeah.
The women don't play every day.
The enrollments
are way down.
Everything are way down.
Right. And then we can carry it over further. You go over to the soccer fields. You know what I mean? Soccer fields, great. They're sand-based, whatever we've practiced on them. The lights. Yeah. Parking over there is terrible. The lots of mess. There's holes everywhere.
Yeah.
Some of the fields are kind of dilapidated, and you're just like, what's going on? Like, this is an area that they should have all-purpose fields instead of 4 soccer fields.
We've said that for years.
They should be like 6 all-purpose fields where you could do lacrosse, you could do this, you could do bong, play the guitar there. But you know what I mean? I just, that's why I just, like, when you sit there and you start going to these other places, you just start looking around, you're like, I think we're in the process of just selling ourselves, like, because we live here, that it's this great thing that it's necessarily not.
Yeah. I mean, it's still a beautiful area.
100%.
Complex.
Great little complex. You can do these different things like the Garlic Festival and all these things on it. But if you're raking in that kind of money, why are we not getting updated different things?
That's fair.
You know what I mean?
That's fair.
So.
Okay.
All right. Number 2, Ulster County roads.
Fucking overrated.
Way overrated.
God awful, terrible.
They talk about how much money they have in all these towns.
Kingston takes it to a whole nother level of shit.
Yeah.
So
do you go up 9W here?
I do.
Terrible.
Always.
Holes everywhere.
Everything through Glenary sucks.
All the way through the S turns.
Yeah.
All the way up the hill. Every side road in Saugerties is dug up to shit. And then when they're going to pave it, they're probably going to pave it in the middle of summer, in the middle of the day, when you got 100 things going on and you're not going to be able to get through town.
Yeah, that's what it's always done.
These roads are terrible.
Dude, I remember when we were seniors in high school, and you probably, did you drive to school? Mm-hmm. But you ended up taking Kings Highway, right?
Yeah, I came the other way. You guys didn't have that luxury.
No, and that's when they were redoing the fucking bridge back then.
You should have came that way.
So we all had to go. You got detoured down the fucking bullshit side roads and sit in traffic every day.
You should have came out, went over to PVI Hill Bridge, and back to Saugerties.
I had so many people to pick up. I had to go that way. I had a fucking clown car right time I got to school.
Yeah. But yeah, overrated.
I had 2 people in my hatchback every day.
That's awesome. You can't do that today.
No, you can't.
But you know what I mean? Like, that's one of the things we have here is you got this beautiful area. It's tourism. It's hotels. It's vacation area. Our roads are shit.
Yeah, you're right.
We left Tennessee and drove 12 hours home through all those states. When did we hit holes?
Jersey.
The northern end of Jersey where it met up with New York.
Yeah.
And then it was nothing but shit.
Tennessee was great. Virginia.
You didn't even go over the whole way. We didn't do that.
No, we didn't.
We hit northern Jersey into New York and then Pothole City.
Yeah, it was.
It was bad.
Really is.
It was bad.
Yep.
All right, number 3, Saugerties restaurants.
Man, for what we have, they're good. I just don't think there's a huge selection.
Really?
But then again, I don't know. Like,
you're at Kingston now, but you're not
Kingston
up here now.
Sucks, bro.
Well, hold on to that one, because I'm going to say Saugerties is underrated. There's a lot of options.
Compared to Kingston, I'll say underrated. Kingston's dirt.
I think we're very underrated. Number 4 is Kingston restaurants.
Dirt.
Overrated. I think very overrated.
Trash.
I think you used to have a lot of options, and now you're down to like a few staples.
And some of the staples suck.
Well, it used to be a big deal to go to the Bowery dugout.
Right. And it's still is probably one of the better restaurants, and that shows you
Golden Ginza is one of the better.
Right.
You know what I mean? But Little Italy is good.
Very good.
But what I'm saying is,
but overrated.
You take the size of
Savannah
Kingston.
Is shit.
I'm saying you take the size of Kingston.
Yeah.
And the amount of like restaurants that you'd go there for.
Right.
And then take the size of Saugerties and the amount of restaurants you'd go there for. And I think just around our studio, we probably have 10 really good restaurants.
Okay.
Right on this block.
Yeah, I mean, I like
listen,
Salt and Fire and Main Street.
Start with Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas.
Dallas and Saugerties and Kingston is good. It's a staple in both. Main Street's good. Village is good. Village Pizza. I mean, pizza shops could be its own thing.
Right.
How many people got into X on Friday nights?
Yeah, so that's kind of a staple.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, I think Saugerties is very underrated restaurant-wise, and I think Kingston's very overrated because as big as it is, it's kind of just
blah.
Yeah.
Yep.
You agree with that?
100%.
All right, and number 5, Ulster County Entertainment.
Oh, boy.
And this is always a hard question when you live there.
Right. Trying to be fair when you live in the area. Man, I still want to say overrated.
Yeah.
We have a couple venues.
There's some things
I think we always get a lot of good stuff in those venues. Like we were lucky enough to go to Colony and see.
But see where
Jeff Leeson.
That's where I would say it's underrated to a point because we saw Jeff at Colony.
Maybe underutilized is a better term.
But we don't go. We don't go.
No.
And that's probably more on us because like when you're in an area, you're like, oh, there's nothing to do here. But if somebody from out of town came, they'd be like, oh my God, you can go jet skiing on a river. You can go hiking in the mountains. You can go. You got the UPAC. Oh my God, you got the Mid Hudson Civic Center. That's not Ulster County. Right. But we don't have that. UPAC's probably the closest thing we have to like a concert.
And their calendar is very
Bearsville
from year to year.
I went to Bearsville. That was awesome. Bearsville Theater.
I think that was better when we were kids or early 20s than it is now.
What, Bearsville?
Yeah.
They just redid the whole thing. I was just there like 3 weeks ago. It was awesome.
What'd you see up there?
A Led Zeppelin Get Zepp. It was a Led Zeppelin cover band.
Okay.
Yeah, it was very, very good. Very good. But yeah, underutilized, I think. But you got to remember, we were a vacation area when we were kids.
We were.
Like, every car came through here and then went north and stayed in all those areas.
Yep.
So, even back then, like, I mean, the go-karts here, doesn't help you got a fucking crackhead house out front.
Correct.
But I just, golf courses, there's some nice golf courses in the area.
That I think we have a plethora of. That part of tourism is great.
You got Ackworth Speedway. That's entertainment. Like, sure. I think there's plenty of entertainment. It's just a matter of us living here. You kind of go, oh, I did that.
Maybe.
I hiked Mohonk. I jumped out of the plane. You know what I mean? Whatever.
Yeah.
But I think this could be a really great vacation area if you increase them, good restaurants, a lot of entertainment,
right,
and get better roads.
I think the river's underutilized
comparatively to what it used to be.
Right, yeah. Like you don't see a lot of dinner cruises go out.
Right. There used to be like anymore. The Teal.
Right.
Go on the Teal and do a sunset cruise.
Yeah, there's not a lot of that. But if you go down towards the city, if you hop on Groupon just to see, they are constantly selling dinner cruises, music cruises, but it's all based out of Manhattan.
Yeah.
So
why aren't they taking it like from Kingston and going north by Catskill and whatever up, and then whatever, a couple hours up, a couple hours back.
Yep, there's plenty of docks, there's plenty of restaurants that are on the river that you can still pull up to. But yeah, I think that part is underutilized. That alone might make me more excited for the weekends in Ulster County. Hey, I'm going on a boat this weekend. Right,
like, hey, Friday night or whatever. I mean, Saturday for you, but like Friday for me. Friday night, 7:00, we're going to go on a dinner cruise.
Yeah.
Or we're going to go on, like, they got a band on this thing tonight for a couple hours.
Yeah.
It's worth it. It's a night out, I just feel like we're the land that time forgot. Like, it parked at some point.
I think the theme of this top 5 is underwhelmed.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things, like, you always remember it, in its heyday.
Right.
And when you're going through it, you don't know that now is the is the premier time.
I would love to, and I'm going to research this for next week's show. I want to research the Friar Tuck, and I want to see. I'm going to get a list of all the big names that used to come up here to perform. Because I remember as kids, maybe they're not big names to us because it was a different generation, but Wayne Newton,
oh God,
Neil Diamond, they were here all the time.
All the time.
Those are big marquee names.
There are people that went on and had residencies in Vegas.
Correct.
Right. So
yeah,
like what happened? Like
Carlin used to come up here. We talked about it before. And test his act out in UPAC that he would take to the city, to Madison Square Garden, to Rockefeller, somewhere he was playing.
Listen, I saw Frankie Valli at UPAC.
Right.
Not that long ago. A couple years ago. We used to get big.
We saved the guy.
Yeah, we used to get big acts there.
We did,
and it's all just gone like, what happened? What happened here?
Next time you get a chance after work, swing home Broadway and just peek at the main board outside of UPAC, and you're going to stare at the acts and be like, "I wouldn't pay to see any of that."
No, I don't know what that is.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's a shame because that's a cool building.
It is, and it's a big theater.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's kind of the top five is, the five, not top five, the five over unders. I just, the more you're around, the more, like I was shooting a commercial for Tommy DeSico's paving company on Broadway.
Broadway Job.
Oh, yeah, the Broadway Job, not the Broadway Job, Broadway Job.
I'm at Broadway Job.
Yeah. But the thing is like, it is fucking brutal bad down there. I didn't want to leave my drone 10 feet from me fear of it getting picked.
If you're an out-of-towner and you're driving down Broadway, you have no idea how to park.
No. It's weird. You're like, is this guy making a right? Yeah, with the bike lanes, it's all fucked up. But like we were at the Murphy Center, the Andy Murphy Center.
Right.
And another thing, could be a great venue if they just cleaned it up a little
Finished it. Like they start projects and then walk away.
Yeah.
And think of the legendary shit that used to go on in that building.
Boxing matches.
World's televised boxing matches.
Championship matches.
Right.
WWE video was a stomping, well, it was WWF back in the early 80s. That was like a TV spot.
Those old videos, they up into the 90s, they shot Freddie Blassie sitting up in the bleachers at the Murphy Center doing the spiel he gave that they would play before big pay-per-views and stuff.
Right.
It was a legendary spot for WWE. So
right, and it could still be a great venue if you just revitalized it.
In the Civic Center, when's the last time you were excited to go to the Civic Center for anything?
Nothing.
Right?
Nothing. I mean,
ECW, the real ECW back in the late 90s.
And they used to have big concerts come through there all the time too. So
huge concerts, comedians, they had everything.
That's the thing is like, I don't know. It's just maybe we're just at that part of our life where we're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
We used to have all this and none of this stuff comes around anymore.
The Chance.
Right. Chance is gone.
Yeah. And that's a damn shame because that was a cool ass venue.
That was a great little venue.
Yep. And Legends played at the Chance. Go back and look at who
100%
bands that played there.
And stand-up comedians and shit.
Yep.
So.
Shit, you saw Ralphie May in Poughkeepsie.
I saw Ralphie May in the Bearsville Theater. So yeah, bananas in Poughkeepsie.
Yeah, underutilized.
Underutilized, I think is the right word. You got anything else going on?
No. Rabbit hole, if we got.
Yeah, we can always do a rabbit hole. This week's rabbit hole. What videos dragged you down the TikTok, YouTube, Reels hole this week?
All right, I'll start it off. So since last weekend when we recorded on Saturday, it was May the 4th. Be with you.
A lot of Star Wars stuff.
A lot of Star Wars. So I hopped on and saw a lot of Star Wars. It's cool that universe is so untapped and that there's so much fan fiction out there with the universe. There are tons and tons of videos and Vader has always been my favorite character.
Yeah.
Of just videos of how Anakin Skywalker / Darth Vader suffered inside of his suit. How the Emperor it's cool how people have gone on and expanded it and added depth to the universe that wasn't always there just through the 6 movies.
Don't you think they could come out? You know how they did an Obi-Wan series, come out with a Vader,
100%,
and just it would. And listen, it's not going to be cheery.
No,
it's going to be like gloomy, a tortured soul
right.
kind of thing. But that kid came back as Anakin and did a phenomenal job in the Obi-Wan series.
The people that hated Hayden Christensen, for those couple of movies, saw a whole different. Actually, I think he's the guy that came back revered this time because he did such a good job.
Yeah,
and I'm sure he's grown as a person and as an actor.
Yeah,
and again, you're only as good as the lines you're going to be fed, and some of them were hokey.
Oh, they were terrible
and shitty. But the scene from Obi-Wan where they meet up in the woods, and that fight where he ends up cracking his helmet.
Yeah, and it's going between his regular voice and Vader's voice.
That was awesome.
That was phenomenal.
That was one of the best 8-minute sequences in all of Star Wars history.
And that's why you always that's why Obi-Wan said, "No, Lord Vader killed your father."
Right.
Because of that moment. Right. You were my brother. I loved you, man. I will not kill you.
Yep.
I will not kill you. You may want to kill me, but I will not kill you.
And he did. He took the ultimate sacrifice.
Yeah.
There's a video that I started watching last night and fell asleep, so I have to go back and finish it. Why did Darth Vader never go after Yoda?
Yoda went into hiding.
He did.
Yeah, so
with the Force, you can feel the presence, and you can get all that. But I think Palpatine had him on such a different plane and such a different.
Yeah.
Listen,
Palpatine wanted no part of Yoda.
Palpatine was flawed. He wasn't worried about the Jedis because they're all dead now.
Yeah.
Listen, dude, you still had a few floating out there, and they were the most powerful ones.
Yeah.
And that's why you lost. And you had the most powerful one at your side. And who was your downfall?
Yeah. Ultimately. Right. But I watched something funny with Vader the other day. It was the original actor. They're like, "Oh, we watched all this movie. He never said anything." And then his first lines, and it was the Scottish guy.
Yeah. And he wasn't bad.
No, but it wasn't.
But it's not. But we are now trained for James Earl Jones.
It was hilarious to hear it, though.
Right.
You're like, oh, my God.
The fact that he did every line in the movie, and then afterwards are like, yeah, it's not cutting it. We need somebody better.
Well, because... Well, not for nothing. It's like when you're, it doesn't matter what you are. If you're Ray Lewis,
right?
If you're not, you got to look the part, feel the part. Like if you hear about this guy Ray Lewis and he's the hardest hitting and best linebacker in the world, and then I don't know, Pee Wee Herman stands out there, you're gonna be like, what the fuck? It just, you know what I mean? And
yeah.
Like you got to fit the part, and that voice didn't fit that costume.
Right. David Prowse was a tall man, and in the suit was fine. As soon as you let him talk, it's probably not going to cut it.
Right. You need that nice,
deeper voice.
Yeah.
But in a strange way, Hayden Christensen pulls it off. Because when he's doing Obi-Wan was a much younger man.
Yeah.
We saw our first seeing Obi-Wan was Alec Guinness, who was in his probably 60s or early 70s when they filmed it. It's a much different...
Obi-Wan's probably 40.
Right.
Yeah.
So, no, I got down that rabbit hole quite a bit. The roasts after Tom Brady, there's just so many good points with the roast. I got to go watch some Don Rickles because he was the originator of destroying an entire room.
Oh.
One-man show.
He'd be like, Julia Roberts lives down the way from me. He goes, 2 doors down, never comes and says hi. And she says something. She goes, you got no words. You got no lines in this. Just nod your head and wave and look pretty.
Shit like that.
Yeah, I watched a lot of metal stamping in some like third world fucking countries. Metal and glass stamping. It's some weird shit. I don't know. Well, like once you watch one of them videos, all of a sudden it's in your algorithm and it's on all the time.
Right.
But it'd be like this guy would get this hot molten glass, put it in there, and they'd put like this, like a frame in there, and they'd spread it all out to all the thing, and they'd be like, oh, that looks cool. So, it looks like fucking palm leaf or something, Yeah. And then that thing would come up, and then another piece of metal would come down, and next thing you know, I'm like, what is that? And then they'd pick it up, and it looked like, like a leaf or something, and they'd rest it on this like ball thing, and come to find out it's a lampshade.
Oh shit!
Like a glass lampshade or something.
Yeah.
And then it would a lot of the same stuff with like metal. They'd heat metal up real hot, and then they put it in there, and then they stamp it, and then they forge it. Like so once you watch one of those things, it used to be. Remember, I used to always have the horse hooves.
Yes.
I had to stop.
You got to
I
wait
couldn't
off
watch one because you watch one, then they're all back in your feet again.
And I'm like, how in the hell with the horse hooves? Like, how far down are you going to dig into this fucking thing? It's not going to have a hoof left.
Right. Cow ones are really bad.
Cows are bad.
They get fucked up a lot. I want to see them do a bulls.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah, that fucker kick you. You'll know it.
Yeah, no doubt. They had. I got into the boot repair rabbit hole.
I did too.
Which also proves the current day thought of nothing is made to last anymore.
Right.
Dude, I was watching a guy repair a pair of 90-year-old work boots last night. The only thing that was bad on them was the sole. Mm-hmm. The leather was fine. Once he remoisturized the leather, it came right back to life. It was fine.
Did your guy? I watched a guy that moisturized it, put a conditioner on it, then he took this knife and he shaved it, almost like you would shave your face.
Right.
He shaved the leather, brought it right back to life.
Looks all brand new. Yep. It's beautiful.
Yep. Then he put a conditioner on it. He sprayed something in the on the laces, burned the ends, put them all back through.
Even like Timberlands, from when we were kids to now they're like cheap shit. Everything is now made to be replaced. It's not made to last anymore.
Well, probably businessmen going, well, if it lasts forever, they're not going to buy another one.
Right. And that's a sad but true fact.
Right.
We're going to make shit replaceable, so they have to keep coming back.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I really was watching on any of that stuff this week. I know I had a cool rabbit hole to tell you, and I forgot all about it, and I didn't write it down.
It's funny with my buddy Bauer traveling through Mexico now, making all of his starts. They travel everywhere on bus. And there's a party bus, and then there's a regular bus. And he mistakenly got on the party bus the one night for a 5-hour overnight trip.
Oh, boy.
And it's him and Kevin, the other guy from Momentum. That's his editor. So he says, like, on average day, they record 8 hours, and that ends up producing like 12 hours of editing. So they're constantly doing something. When he's not playing baseball, he's at the computer making stuff happen. But it's pretty much equivalent to like a double or a triple A field, the stadiums, the bus trips. But it's cool. The teams are fun because on his team alone, Robinson Cano's on his team, Aristides Aquino. The one team they played, the start after he went fucking off and had 14 Ks in 6 innings, the starting lineup had like 6 out of the 9 guys were former MLB guys that were still all in their 20s. So the talent's good, but it's fun. The stadium they played in, you go in through the Grand Concourse, takes you into the locker room. It's the same Grand Concourse the fans come in. The fan connection there to the players is like if you're going to watch a game at friggin' Canton Field.
Really?
That's cool. Have that kind of connection. He loves it. He absolutely loves it. It's fun to watch.
Yeah. Listen, good baseball is always good to watch.
Right.
Bad baseball is terrible to fucking watch.
Very like modern baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pitch clock baseball.
Yeah. Did we talk about soaking and Quakers?
No.
Okay. So, I didn't know. We've heard about, what soaking is, right? So, you don't know?
No.
All right, so listen.
Is it like docking?
Similar.
Oh, God.
So, a hockey team's moving from, I think maybe Arizona or somewhere, to Salt Lake City.
Okay.
And they came up, there were a couple different names they were throwing out there, like the Salt Lake City Soakers, because it's a big premarital thing with the Mormons. They can't have sex, premarital sex. So they put it in there and they just soak. It just goes in. It goes in. And they just soak.
What the fuck?
They just sit there and they don't, whatever. So then Pat McAfee says, well, what about the Quakers? Have you guys heard about this? And they're like, no, what's the Quakers? He goes, there's bunk beds involved. And you get a buddy and you go in there with your girl and you start soaking. And then your buddy gets in the bed and he puts his feet up and he's a Quaker. And he quakes the bed.
So you're just soaking, but the quaking.
The Quaker's doing the moving for you.
Oh, that's fucking funny. He's shot.
So what if we got the Salt Lake City Quakers?
There you go.
So then, of course, you fall down a fucking rabbit hole of, how fucking crazy the stuff they do in this thing. They also do it where you get soaking on a trampoline and you get a friend to jump all around so it moves for you.
Are you kidding me? This is all legitimate shit.
Yeah, the way to get around the premarital sex thing.
That is hysterical. Wow.
Yeah, so it's pretty wild shit, and everybody's like, "No, what the fuck is soaking?" And then this could have been a stately definition thing.
Yeah,
and I think it will be for our next episode.
Okay, I can get on that.
Yeah, so yeah, that was pretty wild to fall into that. Yeah,
what the fuck?
I told Blaze about that. He fucking pissed himself. Blaze, and then I sent him the video of it.
He's down in Pigeon Forge.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's on vacation. Nice. He went to micro wrestling.
Oh yeah, the midget wrestling. Yeah.
Yeah, he sent pictures from that.
Oh my god, this is crazy. They had it when we were down there. They had it.
Their home theater arena, whatever. It was right there in Pigeon Forge. Yeah. So
that could be a rabbit hole. All the things to do in Pigeon Forge and Rocky Top, Gatlinburg area. Yeah.
I asked him if they were going up there. He said, yeah, they were.
That's cool.
I showed him the side by side thing that Tommy and Matt did. He's like, yeah, I see him all over the place.
Oh, you can drive them all over. Yeah. Tell them to definitely go into Krispy Kreme donuts when the light goes on.
That's right. Oh, wait, it's on.
6 lanes I crossed, bro.
With a utility van.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, that's it for me, buddy. I got nothing else.
All right. Anything planned for the weekend?
Weekend is kind of empty right now. Oh, no, I'm taking my mom out for Mother's Day.
Nice.
By the time this airs, it'll be after Mother's Day. Me and my sister take my mom out for dinner. We're like, what do you want, Mom? She's like, anything I want, I buy.
Right.
There's like really nothing.
Where are you guys going?
I think she likes to go to Christina's.
Okay.
Which is the old Guido's.
Right.
Which wasn't something else in between at one point.
Probably.
Yeah. She likes to go there.
Good.
So I have no problem. We'll go there. We take her there every year. Have dinner, see everybody. Oh, Boston has a baseball game too. 2:00 tomorrow.
Cool.
So yeah, just doing dad duty.
Doing life.
Yep, and getting ready to book all my stuff to Italy.
Sweet. That's just around the corner.
Yeah, it is. I just gotta get on it now. I gotta stop procrastinating.
Yeah, flight prices are probably not going to change much more.
Nope. Gotta get it rolling.
So,
all right, buddy, bring us home.
All right, for GMAC, this is Winnie. This has been the Outlaw Blitz podcast, and as